Okay, so for our next example, we're just going to go through the steps one more time. So I have the steps for you here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use 2 points to figure out the slope. You can also do this just by counting on the graph. So take a moment right now, pause the video, figure out the slope from the graph. Okay, so hopefully you took a moment to figure out the slope. We have a point here and a point here, so your slope would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I guess I skipped a point, so there's one here, which means our slope is 1 over 3, so I'm going to write m equals 1 over 3. Okay, your second step is you need to plug in the slope and 1 point into the point slope form. Okay, so I'm going to get you started on this one. So first off, the point that we're going to use, just so that we have an easy point, is 2, -2. Okay, so in this spot here, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write m equals 1/3. We're using the point 2, -2, and our point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, go ahead, pause the video. I want you to plug slope and these 2 points into this equation where they go. Okay, hopefully you did that and you found y minus -2 equals 1/3 times x minus 2. That's with plugging in this y1, this slope, and this x1. Remember, you can also turn the minus negative into a big plus sign. Okay, so now we have this equation, y equals y plus 2 equals 1/3 x minus 2. And I know that a lot of us do not like working with fractions. That's something that I understand from the problems that we've done together. Okay, so I'm going to give you a way to get rid of your fraction until the end of the problem. So at the end of the problem, your answer will still have fractions, but I'm going to give you a way so that you don't have to work with the fractions until the very end. Okay, so you see how my slope is a fraction? If I get rid of this as a fraction, then I don't have to worry about fractions anymore. And the way I can do it is this. So we should know that to get rid of a fraction, we can multiply by the denominator, right? So our denominator is 3, so I can multiply by 3. So if I multiply by 3 here, I have to multiply by 3 on this other side, which means I have to distribute that 3. So this gives me 3y plus 6, which is fine. These 3's cancel out, so I just get 1 times x minus 2. So it's really just x minus 2. So now we can distribute and we can solve for y. So distribute your 1 and then solve for y. Get y by itself. Okay, so hopefully you did that. We have 3y plus 6 equals x minus 2. To get y by itself, we need to subtract 6 from both sides. And we get 3y equals x minus 8. And then we have to divide every single thing by 3 to get the y by itself. So here's the part where I told you you're going to have fractions in the end, but you won't have to work with the fractions. You'll just have to write them down in the end. So we end up with 1/3 x minus 8/3, and that's our final answer.